Hey everybody, it's been a while. As you can tell from the environment, life has changed again. I got a house. That's pretty cool. I just finished treating the last bit of my recording studio here, and as you can see, or hear, it sounds pretty good. So, yeah, lighting and stuff is kind of awkward. I just figured out where to set my camera. It's like on a bunch of boxes, and I didn't bring my ring light yet, so I'm using my phone. I'm making do with what I got right now. Um, but yeah, I just got back kind of from seeing The Chosen season 5, part 3 in theaters. Very good. Really enjoyed it. Probably my favorite season of the bunch. The show's never been like my all-time favorite or anything like that, but I found it very enjoyable, especially like as a Christian growing up. I've always heard the Bible read in like a monotone way by teachers and stuff, and the way it's written is never like the most verbose way of describing emotions. So I've always kind of read it very plainly. So to see Jesus' story played out in a more emotional and human way, it's like, oh, he was actually really a person who talked and lived like a normal human being. And so it's like it's been a very nice way of actually I guess discovering the emotional core of Jesus' story. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, so as the title suggests, I'm kind of going to give a prediction about something that's going to happen in season 6, because season 6 is going to be the crucifixion. So there's not a lot of time left for a specific scene that I've been waiting for. So to give context, I started watching The Chosen around fall or winter last year, because a bunch of church friends at work kind of got together and invited me to be part of a church group that we meet every Thursday, and we started our meetings by going over The Chosen. So we went through one episode a week for a while, had some breaks here and there obviously because of scheduling and whatnot, but over time I got through all of The Chosen. Actually, I think we started in the summer. Regardless, watched through it all. And then as I was watching, I was just kind of sitting there going like, man, it's kind of weird that we've skipped over the baptism. And there have been a few things that either we have not seen from that were in the Bible we haven't seen, or that were played out, but you didn't actually hear some of the sermons, like the Sermon on the Mount. You don't actually hear most of it because I guess it's you can read about it, so they didn't feel the need to have to play out the entire sermon in video form. But then there are things but the baptism is a very strange thing to skip because it's super important to the start of Jesus' journey. It's the first time that he's publicly basically announced it to be the Son of God. So, and also in the show, they have Andrew was there at the baptism, and that's how he learns that he is the Son of God, and so he's trying to tell Simon this is the Messiah, and that's a big part of that story to bring Simon into the fold of being, and both Simon and Andrew into the fold of the apostles. So such a pivotal scene for the progression of the narrative in just the Chosen story, let alone in the Bible. It's kind of weird. Why have they skipped that? It's you don't, and it kind of actually became a bit of a joke with some of me and my friends there. It's I got passionate that was semi a joke about where's the baptism, and it's gotta happen sometime. And so with season 6 being just the crucifixion, there's only assuming that the crucifixion concludes by the end of the season. This whole season is going to be taking place over the course of just roughly 12-ish hours at the most, maybe. Well, I guess it's more it could be about 24-ish hours, I suppose, in total. Yeah, because the trial. So but even then, that's a lot of stuff to try and make into 8 episodes. So we figured, okay, yeah, there's probably be a lot of flashbacks, maybe to connect with either scenes that we've not actually seen before, of where how some of the apostles met Jesus, or things that Jesus did that we haven't seen yet. And that's when I realized, okay, I think I know what's going to happen. And this is my prediction of how they're going to actually display the baptism in the show. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the next season, because it just feels too perfect to not be. So I'm just kind of making this to say, hey, if it happens, I called it. So I've said this to them a few times. Basically, what's going to happen is, as Jesus is there on the cross, about to die, there'll be like scenes intercut like here and there where like it like cuts briefly to like Jesus walking towards I think it was like a lake or a river. I think it was a river. And then like kind of coming back with like some emotional music that's like building and building. And then like you have a shot of maybe like walking past the camera. In the background you see Andrew and Thaddeus and Paul like staring at it, and it's like, wait, it's like, who's that? And then like you see him walking towards John, like they share some words, and then what happens, like he will then be, as John takes him into the water, then like we'll cut back to Jesus on the cross. He then says like one of his final words, like, "It is finished." And then as he pulls him back out of the water, he maybe like gasp for air, and then it cuts to him breathing his last breath before he dies. I think that would be like the most emotionally impactful way, like to connect the beginning with the end. It's a classic storytelling element. It's not necessarily cyclical storytelling because, again, we haven't seen it before, but it does, at least in terms of narrative journey, connect the start of him being the Messiah in the public eye, and then his journey as the Messiah ending, like it for his death, so concluding the way he came to do. Now, of course, that does not, like, if you do it that way, that does exclude, like, the part, like, or it would make it kind of awkward, I think, to then have the scene with, like, this Holy Spirit coming down and like that. So a way you can pace it a little bit differently is after he comes back up, like, instead you then see, the Holy Spirit come down as, you see the Holy Spirit come down as a dove, and then you hear the Lord's voice saying, "This is my son who I am well pleased." And like you see people like cheering and like raising their hands and stuff. But then like you can have like Jesus looking up at the crowd with a mix of joy and a little bit of sorrow, knowing what has to come. And then like maybe with like he gives like a slightly shaky breath inward, and then you do the transition to his final exhale. That would also work. I think that is personally how they're going to do it. Now they could do it a different way, like, since that is how Andrew met Jesus, that could be like a flashback scene that they do leading up, like during like the trial or like leading through the crucifixion, where like maybe they're doing a flashback. Like, this is what this apostle is like feeling in this moment, because like they're looking back on their times, like, so Andrew would think about the first time he met Jesus, and that's also possible. I just think that in terms of emotional impact, that would probably be the most emotionally devastating and effective way to implement the baptism, would be to show it as the final moments of Jesus on the cross are about to play out. So I'm just kind of going to upload this as is. I might mute me hitting my mic if it sounds too bad. But that is, I'm just kind of putting this here just to say, hey, if I called it, I called it. And I mean, on the really off chance that Dallas Jenkins or someone sees this, like, and there's still time actually for them to like change their story, because I'm pretty sure they're already filming season 6. Hey, you can use this idea if you want to. Like, I guess maybe message me. My business email's in my about tab, I guess. I don't know. That's like the shot in the pan. Honestly, this is mostly just here for me and my friends. Like, say, I have this on record to say that I have my prediction before it came out, and if it plays out the way I think it does, I can say I called it. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Will I make a new video again soon? Probably not soon. Like, I've been doing other stuff again. Like, I stream with my friends on a weekly basis, actually, where we do live webtoon dubs. It's one of the voice crack, one of the shared channels on my page. You can go see me there. I've been very busy with that. I've been busy with work. I've been busy moving in. A lot of stuff in my life. I'm definitely not going to stop making videos on this channel. They're just going to be as the About tab says, very infrequent. So thank you to everyone who has stuck around. Jeez. I hope you will stick around for whatever I do next. Y'all are amazing. Take care.